really wanna perpetrate, cause this 38 will be designated for all those who hate it like a test. Man, I contemplated. Your moves you lose, now your hot you gave me. New moves, more dudes, now the top you made me. Same rules, new crews, now the clutch you made me.
Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. I'm Van, and we are all the LFR family. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys, and the like button. A lot of MGK fans told me to go check this joint out. The name of the movie was The Dirt. It's on Netflix. Apparently, it's a biopic from the rock band Mötley Crüe. And from what I gather, they had a lot to do with writing the movie and producing the movie. So shout out to Mötley Crüe. It was a wild damn movie, man. Disclaimer, I've never done movie reactions before, movie reviews. And disclaimer, I don't know a damn thing about rock, but I know a lot more about Mötley Crüe than I know about any other band. Any other band. Shit, I can name all 4 members right now. Who we got? We got my man, MGK, who played Tommy Lee, the drummer. We got my man on bass, Nikki Sixx. He got the coolest name of all of them. Nikki Sixx. No. Mick Mars. He got the coolest name, in my opinion. That's just in my opinion. He wasn't the coolest. He was definitely the weirdest, but he wasn't the coolest, Mick Mars. And the lead singer, Vince Neil. And the joint started when they were younger, man. The joint blew my mind, bro. But the way the movie started off, it had my wife's mouth like, because apparently they was at a party and they were older and they were already together. And and Vince was doing what Vince do. Of course, he was somewhere away in another room, giving it to some girl. And MGK, who played Tommy Lee, he was outside. He was out in the front room, eating a woman's vagina in front of everybody. He made her squirt all over the place, and everybody was like, yeah. And of course, it was drugs and everything. But the movie was dope because it took them from when they were really young, showed their backstories. Nikki Sixx grew up, and his father didn't want anything to do with him. His mom was just raising him, and he was a rude bastard, man. He was a bad boy, man. He tried to actually stab himself. He stabbed himself in the arm, and then told the police that his mom did it. And they was like, man, you need to tell us the truth or your mom's gonna go away. So he ended up telling her, look, you're not my mother anymore. You're not raising me. Don't say sugar, honey, iced tea to me. I do what I want. So it went that way. Grew up, and he was in another rock band already. He was already popular. He was already kicking butt. I'm talking about Nikki Sixx. Tommy Lee's character, MGK, he always wanted to be in a rock band, but he grew up in the best situation with his mom and dad loving each other, and little sister, baby sister, and just a nice household. And he was actually an all-around good guy. I didn't know this. Who would have thought? I didn't know Tommy Lee was an all-around good guy. But I'm guessing that the actual artist played a big part in helping them produce the movie. Like Tommy Lee probably played real close to MGK, like that's what I do, that's how I look. And according to my wife, he looked a hell of a lot like Tommy Lee did in the movie. Now, I'm not trying to say that all white people look alike, but I will say from the pictures that I've seen and how they was dressed and how they was acting and stuff like that, I say all of them look like the singers, especially the blonde one, Vince Neil. But it was a wild ride, man. It just showed the ups and downs, them falling in love, them falling out of love. One particular one when they was at their first really big concert, and Tommy Lee, MGK's character, invited his mom and dad out to see it, and he invited his mom and dad to meet his new fiance. Well, his fiance just so happened to be in one of the rooms getting this sugar honey iced tea out of her by who was banging her? I want to say that was Nikki Sixx that was banging her. And in the concert before that, one of the record execs, who was played by Pete Davidson, he was looking for his girlfriend. She was in the backstage getting done out by Vince Neil. So the joint was wild, man. It just showed rock and roll, a whole hell of a lot of drug use. Oh my gracious, a whole bunch of partying. And the funny thing happened with, I know I'm all over the place, but this is my first review. You gotta cut me some slack. You don't have to cut me no slack. Just look, if you subscribed already and you don't like this, just go unsubscribe. But I'm trying this. All right, so Pete Davidson's character, who was the record exec, the first time he got into the bar, the club with them, he wanted to sit down and meet with them and pass him his card. As soon as he sat down, he felt his pants get unzipping, and apparently it was a woman under the table that was trying to give him some head. And they were just sitting around looking like, well, she's always under the table, and we don't trust you now that you won't let her give you no head. But the joint was dope, man. It was absolutely phenomenal. I didn't know that Tommy Lee was once engaged to be married, or no, he was married to Heather Locklear. I didn't know that. And I didn't know that that Nikki Sixx was his best man. I mean, how could I? I didn't know shit about Mötley Crüe. But now I know a hell of a lot, man. Their journey from beginning to end. Mick Mars played a big part of them taking their craft seriously. And he was the lead guitarist. And he was like, man, I'm in it for the long haul, for the finish, man. He was the oldest one in the crew, but they never showed. He was the only one that they never showed doing anything sexual with anyone. So he was pretty much like the guardian. You know, they was running around butt naked in the hotels, throwing stuff out the window, TVs and lamps, all types of dressers. They was throwing all types of, man, they was just going crazy, just acting out. But one thing that stuck to me, Vince Neil went through a whole lot in this movie. One, he ended up killing his one of his best friends, who I think his name was Razzle, and I believe he was the drummer for a rock band called The Finish or Hanoa, something like that. I don't know. I didn't take notes. Maybe I should next time, if y'all think there should be a next time. But he was driving with them, and both of them was highly inebriated. And they went to go get more booze and stuff from the store. And when they was headed back to the house, he was looking at him talking and kept looking away. And then he was swerving and almost ran into a truck that was coming head on. So he swerved out the way, and he ended up getting back on the road, but he overcorrected, and a truck smashed on the passenger side where his best friend was sitting. And he died right there in Vince Neil's lap. And Vince Neil actually did a little bit of time for that, for manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter. Also, and he got clean from drugs and all that while he was locked up. That was part of him being released and whatnot. And that the whole rock thing became a pain in the ass to him, because he didn't like any of the material now. He didn't like the way that they performed, none of that. He was just like, all this was drug induced. I don't know where the hell all this came from. And then he ended up losing his daughter too. His daughter ended up getting cancer in her stomach, and being rushed to the hospital and whatnot. And he talked to her, and she acted like hell, man. She was a great actor, that baby girl. She was like, I don't want them to cut me anymore. And he said, only one more time, sweetie, you got a flower in your stomach. That part almost made my allergies flare up a little bit, man. I was, whew. And my wife, she was like, man, I can't take this. This is too much. But one thing my wife did point out when we were watching this, she said, you are never taking this reaction thing on the road. I took that as a compliment, because I was like, oh, my wife see my 25,000 subscribers as me being at rock star status. Yeah! So I'm cool with that all day long, man. But man, they got down, man. It was an awesome movie. MGK, he shocked the hell out of me. He's a hell of an actor, man. He played the good boy of the band. Believe it or not, he was the good boy. I mean, he still got in some mess and some trouble and whatnot, but compared to them, he was the good boy because Nikki Sixx was strung out on dope, shooting up. They all snorted cocaine and smoked weed and cigarettes, those type of things. But Nikki Sixx was the only one, from what I gather, that was pretty much strung out on heroin, the needle. But overall, I think that was a good movie, man. I'm glad I looked at it, and thank you guys for pointing me in that direction, because if it weren't for you, shit, I wouldn't have checked out no damn The Dirt about Mötley Crüe. But now I know a whole hell of a lot about them, and it makes me want to check out more of their music. Hopefully this review helped. That's pretty much it. I think it went from when they started all the way up into probably like, I don't know, 10, maybe 15 years ago. And that was it. I'm Van, LFR family. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on your way out. And peace.